Hey everybody, Mike here, doing another video for you. I just went back, went record store therapy shopping again today, digging through the dollar bins and picked up a couple from the non-dollar bins. I just wanted to show you what I came away with. I got a few finds that I'm really happy with. Let's start with the non-dollar bin material. I've shown some Jefferson Starship before, nuclear furniture. This is, I forget what years, early 80s this came out. It's got Laying It on the Line on it, which is one of my favorite Jefferson Starship songs. So I've never had this on any format, so it was just a few bucks. Thought it'd be a couple of bucks, pick it up, be a nice addition to the collection. I've got, I'd like to really get Jefferson Starship's full discography at some point, and I've, kind of had some luck finding them for not too much. I don't want to pay a whole lot for some of them, but you can't go wrong with it. Good 80s hard rock, 70s, 80s hard rock, and I enjoy this album, so I was glad to find it. And then I found, this is one I've never had. This is Uriah Heep's first album. This is the US version. In Britain it was released as very heavy, very humble, with a different cover. It had David Byron's face behind a bunch of cobwebs. In the US they had this kind of odd looking monster creature on it with this kind of gatefold cover, and there's a nice picture of the band here with a little some liner notes. Pretty interesting. I like Uriah Heep. I don't have a lot of their material. I know a lot of times they were kind of critics panned them as like a poor man's Deep Purple and kind of a knockoff band, but I really always liked Mick Box. Thought he was a good player, despite his again, critics saying that he was kind of simple, not very flashy. But I like that. And then David Byron had a great voice, and just the long body of work that Uriah Heep has to offer is impressive alone. And the fact that they're still at it today, Mick Box and company's still at it today, and even their newer CDs that they've put out the last couple of years have been really good. So this is where it started for them. I was glad to find this for not too expensive, and happy to have that now. And then kind of in the same category as Uriah Heep, I was pleased to find this one today. The cover's not in the best shape. It's got some ring wear, and the spine's a little worn, but otherwise just a good cleaning, and the vinyl's in really good shape. This is Deep Purple in Rock, 1970 release, gatefold. It's got the lyrics, some liner notes. Not much to say about Deep Purple. This could arguably be one of the first metal albums ever recorded, and again, I hate to admit, one that I've never owned in any format, so very happy to pick that one up. And now we'll go on to the dollar bin digging. Got some really good finds for $1. We're going to start with this first one, kind of to tie in with the Deep Purple. This is Andrew Lloyd Webber's Jesus Christ Superstar. This is not the Broadway version. This is a different version, to which, and I did not know this until I just got this out to look at it, but the role of Jesus on this album is sung by Ian Gillan from Deep Purple. So that's going to be pretty interesting. I don't believe I've ever heard any of this particular recording. I'm mostly familiar with the Broadway recordings. So this is going to be an interesting listen. And the record's a really decent copy all the way around. The cover's a little worn, but the vinyl's in really good shape, and then it comes with a booklet with the lyrics and the story. Right. So again, for $1, I think that's just a really nice find. And then we've tied in Deep Purple to Ian Gillan singing on this. This is an Andrew Lloyd Webber. Most of you know Andrew Lloyd Webber from his Broadway musicals, but this is one that I have to admit to I was not familiar with. This caught my eye. The first thing that caught my eye was the cover, the flying V guitar with the kind of classical musicians there, and then I actually looked at it and I saw that it was Andrew Lloyd Webber, and this is Variations which, if you're not familiar with this, these are different variations of, I think, Paganini classical works. But anyway, it's a progressive rock album that what I thought was really interesting, aside from the fact that it was Andrew Lloyd Webber, was the instrument, or the musicians on the album. What first drew my eye when I was going down the list was that Don Airey is on keyboards along with Rod Argent. So okay, pretty good, right? And then I get down to guitar, and it's Gary Moore. So absolutely had to pick this up. I'm sure the Gary Moore fans probably are familiar with this, but I've not given it a whole listen yet. But what I have heard from it is really good. If you like classical music and like progressive rock, it's a nice mixture of that, and you can't go wrong with musicians like Gary Moore and Don Airey. So I thought this was a really good find for $1. And then along with the progressive rock, this record's not in great shape at all. The album, it's beat up, but it's got some scratches on it. But if it plays at all, then it was worth $1. Jethro Tull's Aqualung, everybody knows it. Again, an album that I've never owned. I've had some Jethro Tull CDs and collections, but I've never owned the album. And it's just kind of one of the staples of progressive classic English rock. So, like I said, if it plays at all, it was well worth $1. And I'll probably likely one day try to upgrade, because I think this is one that should be in the collection. And more progressive rock, I was happy to find this one too. This is Yes with their 1977 album, Going for the One. I don't think this is one of the more well-known Yes albums. If you look at it, it kind of looks a little bit like Hemispheres. I'd have to go back and do the research and figure out which one came first, but I'm sure that's not a coincidence. Two of the greatest progressive rock bands of all time. But this is the classic Yes lineup. You can't go wrong. And again, for $1, I think that's a great find. And another band I again not familiar with. I mean, I've heard of them, never had any of their stuff. This is the Strawbs, kind of an English folk band that began to get a little more electric as their discography went on. This is from 1973, I believe, somewhere around there. I just kind of picked this up because I thought it would probably be interesting. I should know more about this band, but I don't. But again, for $1, the education starts there. Here's another one. I think I'd heard of this band before, but the album cover just kind of drew me in. This is Crawler with Snake, Rattle, and Roll. I think there was another version, a different name. I think the band had a different name before they reduced it down just to Crawler after the guitar player, I think one of the guitar players passed away. I thought this was going to be kind of maybe American Southern rock, but studying their biography a little bit, they're like British blues hard rock, and they did some tours with Cheap Trick and Foreigner back in the early '70s. Again, I'm not giving this a listen yet. Not quite sure what to expect, but again, for $1. And more British. I mean, this is the classic Rod Stewart, Footloose and Fancy Free. I was kind of suspicious to find this album in the dollar bin, and when I inspected it, I found out it's really dirty. It needs a really good thorough cleaning, but there aren't any scratches or anything on it. I think once I get it cleaned up, it's going to play very well. This album's still in the shrink wrap, but this has my favorite Rod Stewart song of all time on it, Hot Legs, and then it's also got You're in My Heart and I Was Only Joking. You Keep Me Hanging On. great tunes. I love Rod Stewart. Always have liked Rod Stewart. I think this is one of the more of a more hard rocking albums. So I absolutely had to pick this up, and I learned inspecting the liner notes. Something I did not know was that Carmine Appice played drums on this record. So that's pretty cool. So again, great find I think for no more than it was. Another great find. This probably you can probably find this one in a lot of the dollar bins. Although this is the first time I'd seen it. The cover's got some ring wear. It's not in the best shape, but the vinyl's in great shape. This is Pat Benatar in the Heat of the Night. It's got classic Heartbreaker on it, and you can't go wrong with Pat Benatar. I think she's the queen of American hard rock. Everyone listened to her growing up in the '80s, and again, a lot of her albums are ones that I've never owned individually. I never owned this record. Had a lot of the singles. Had some CD collections. I think I have Live from Planet Earth, or Live from Earth is the only Pat Benatar. Well, no, I've got Get Nervous too. But I had never owned this one, so to find this one for $1, very happy. And not too far behind that one, I found this one, Crimes of Passion. This cover's in better shape. Again, the vinyl's in great shape, so not really quite sure why that one was in the dollar bin, but hey, I'll take it. This has got great songs on it. This one's got Treat Me Right, You Better Run, and then Hell is for Children. The big hits off this one, but I think this one maybe been a little more commercially successful. But always been a Pat Benatar fan. I think Neil Giraldo is a great guitar player. He was terribly underrated throughout his career. So very happy to have those two Pat Benatar albums. And then got a couple more here. This is an 80s guilty pleasure. This was The Outfield with Play Deep. I was not a big fan of this band, but I mean I was aware of the songs that came off of it, and this was a huge popular album back in the '80s when it came out, and it's decent. And again, that never been one of my favorites, but for $1, don't think you can really go wrong. And then the last one I picked up, if you like jazz or you are a musician, instrumentalist, you've probably all seen this one. This is Chuck Mangione with Feel So Good. This is probably one of the more well-known instrumental jazz cuts. Feels So Good. All my trumpet player buddies back in high school just loved this and loved this song, even though it's played on the flugelhorn, not a trumpet. But hey, I always like to expand my jazz collection. I like the late '70s, early '80s jazz records, and again, this one for $1, you can't go wrong to add it to the collection. I had never had it before, so happy to have that one. All in all, I think it was a really good stack. Today I think I came home with 11 records, spent just a little less than $20. You can't go wrong. Again, some of them are going to need some cleaning and a little bit love and attention, but I think most of them will probably play well and great additions to the collection. So really happy about the Andrew Lloyd Webber variations and the Yes and the Jethro Tull, and just a lot of these that I found for $1 that I was really pleased to find. Last time I went dollar bin digging, I came up with a few that I thought were okay, but some of these I found today really made me happy, and I don't seem to have the luck finding some of the. If I can just find some of these some more of my metal albums that I like in the dollar bins that I see some of you guys finding now and then, I'd be really happy. So good news, I did find another record store not too far from me, actually another Half Price Books, but they had a better selection than the one that's closest to me. So been trying to find more places to dig and places to go. A couple record shows coming up here in the Indianapolis area here in a while. So hopefully I'll be coming up with some more vinyl. All right, I think that's about all I have to say. I know got some early proto metal in here. Most of this is rock and not too heavy, but you know what I say. I'm a metalhead, and I'm not afraid to let anybody show it. or I'm not afraid to let anybody see it. You shouldn't be afraid to let anybody know your mettle. So let them know your mettle. Bang your head, throw the goat, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.